I had a few questions to ask you. So I'm very curious, what made you decide to go on to a reality TV show?
You know, I think it's helping me to feel my real, honest to goodness feelings and be the exact person who I am.
That's so interesting. Why do you think it does that?
Well, it has a lot to do with discovering my neurodiversity, which I believe has been there from the very start.
Mm.
And I always had a thought there was something different. I didn't know exactly what it was. But you know, over many years, I would try so very hard to hide those aspects of who I am, worried about what other people are going to think of me and that kind of a thing, if you know what I'm saying. And
I do.
Thank you. But at this particular point in time, I want to find a way to really let go of that. And I need to be real with myself. No matter what quirks I have, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. And I'm just sort of telling myself to go with those feelings now. And I think that's where I'm at this point.
So it's really been a chance for you to be more authentic as yourself.
Yes, exactly. And
so
it's very important.
It sounds like you're very glad that you did that.
Exactly. Yes. And I need to do more and more of it.
Do you have a plan for how you're going to do more and more of it?
Well, I work with Elaine, and she and I together do more and more, along with Shoray, who works as my assistant. I have a great group of people that help me out, including a therapist.
Well, you're very lucky. That's very lucky to have that.
Oh, thank goodness. Yes.
So would you recommend the experience of being on a reality show to other people, especially people with neurodiversity?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because I know I absolutely would connect with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. So did you do any preparation before you would start an episode?
You know, I'm so glad that you're asking. I don't think the kind of preparation that others might have in mind was going on in my brain. I think it honestly feels a lot like this does with you and I. It's just a natural back and forth, going along with every thought, every feeling, and being honest about it. And it's a nice thing because it doesn't have a real feeling of high pressure to me.
If I say the expression like you're being present, being very present.
Yes.
Does that resonate for you?
It sure does when I'm speaking with you.
Well, that's nice. So what was the most challenging part for you about being on the show?
Probably the dates themselves,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm just not used to going out and dating women. I love the idea very dearly, but I need direction. I need some help in those
Mm-hmm.
areas. And I know I feel a bit awkward.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a little self-conscious.
That's interesting to me because I didn't feel you were that self-conscious. I think most people feel awkward on their first dates.
Really? You know, what's so interesting is they don't seem like they do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So has being on the show impacted your current life, your real life?
Oh, I think it has. It really has. Because I'm feeling like I'm actually being the person who I am.
Mm. But I'm meaning also, for example, do you get recognized as
Oh,
having been on television?
yes. You know, it's a funny thing. As you and I are chatting, I'm almost forgetting about that. But yes. And what happens is I go about like I normally do. And when I least expect it, somebody might come up and say hello. Yes, we get quite a bit of it. And it's very nice. The people are so warm and they take time out to speak with me and they connect with me. And I feel as if they already know me. And in many cases, we've never even met before. So that's a really nice feeling. And they accept me for who I am.
Yeah,
And I
that sounds
feel,
like it's very positive. Yeah.
oh, it is. It is. They all make me feel very at ease.
Hmm. Oh, that's nice.
Sure.
So did I'm interested for our readers to know how much you needed to prepare before you would start a scene. Like, would a director coach you? Would Elaine coach you? How would they give you an idea of a script or something that you were supposed to do in the scene?
You know what? Believe it or not, they didn't.
Really?
Really. Which is kind of nice because without a script, we just end up doing it organically.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's interesting that way. But I know what you mean. One would think, oh, there must be a script that we're supposed to read, perhaps even memorize. But
Well,
no.
I was thinking more like an outline that they would say, so you're going to meet your date here, and
Oh,
then we'll give you a signal and you're supposed to take a walk or, for
oh,
example,
I
go to the
beg your
boat or something like that. I wondered about that.
I am so sorry. You are correct. In those areas, yes, they did. That's coming back to me now.
Mm-hmm.
They would, tell me, where to walk, where to sit.
Ah, okay.
And from time to time, they had to, do it again.
Ah, you had to do it again. Oh.
Yes. And the funny thing is, throughout the entire show, I'm thinking, well, I don't know what part they're going to keep and what part they're not.
So when you saw it all edited, were you surprised?
Yes. Yes.
Was it a good surprise or a bad surprise?
a beautiful surprise. It's I mean, when I see it, of course, I see the quirks that I have that I guess I'm aware of already, but I don't always know what I look like or what I sound like. So when I watch myself, I think, ay, ay, ay.
Well, in some ways, that's very typical, Steve. I think none of us really like to watch ourselves.
Oh, well, you know what? Everybody else looks great. You look great.
Well, maybe you do too,
All of
then.
you do.
I would bet you do too.
Oh, you're so kind.
What was the most fun thing about it?
I think the wonderful group of people that run it all
Mm.
are so friendly, and they keep me great company.
Has the experience made you want to do like any more kind of acting work or possibly voiceover work or anything like that?
You know, I think you're absolutely correct. Yes, it is perhaps indirectly giving me a feeling that seems to be leading toward those areas.
You know, it's so exciting, Steve, to hear you say that, because uh, sometimes people feel that people that are in their 60s, you know, they shouldn't be starting a new path in their life. And the fact that you want to is very exciting.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Yes, I know what you mean in a way.
Mhm.
It kind of occurs to me a little bit also. You know what's interesting? In my case, I think I've always wanted to do these things, and I didn't get around to doing them all that much. I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there. In my 20s, I was doing a little bit of radio,
Mm.
and in small towns, you know, with very little pay, but good experience.
Mhm.
And I had other jobs over the years, but I've enjoyed all the thoughts of getting into voiceover work and acting also. It's just that I think, well, good luck. Not easy.
So how did they find you to begin with? What was that process like? Did you have to audition?
Well, you know, Elaine, who discovered my neurodiversity,
Ah,
had me interviewing with Kian, who's in charge of the whole show. And I found that interview also very warm. And I was getting a little emotional here and there, but you know, he's such a fine gentleman. And I have a wonderful chemistry with him and his entire group, for that matter. And I didn't know if I was going to end up on the show or not. But going through an interview here, another one there, some time goes by, and then it happens to come around. And then even then, you know, I wasn't certain if things were going to end up on the cutting room floor.
yes. Yes, you know the lingo now.
Oh, maybe a little bit. That's funny.
So, do you feel that you're more confident about dating now?
You know, I would like to say that yes, I am. To tell you the truth, I'm nervous about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nervous because it's an area for me that is going into a world of the unknown.
Mhm. Well, I have to say, Steve, honestly, I've been married for 50 years, and
That's
I
great.
don't know what it would be like to have to date again. I mean, I don't think I would have the courage to do it, frankly.
Oh, gee, it's so funny how different people think of themselves in one way or another, but the other people that they're speaking with might think very differently of them.
I wanted to share that with you because of what you
Thank,
were saying. I was really touched by it. And
oh, thank you.
yeah, that it would be very, very hard for me to put myself out there. And I so admire and respect you for it.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Boy, you sure know how to give someone the confidence that they need.
Well, thank you. um, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about being on the show? Or
Wow. Let me think for a moment. There are so many things. I want to say that the others that are joining me on the show are wonderful. And Elaine, of course, is one of them. I love the way that Elaine discusses my situation on the show.
mhm.
She does it beautifully.
She does. There's a real kindness, but a lot of clarity in what she says.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. That's right. You're wording that very well.
Something else I appreciated, Steve, was with the second woman that you didn't really want to see again, you were so kind about how you described it and that she just wasn't your type. And I thought that was very generous because you realized she was as vulnerable as you were.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
But
You're very right.
I really appreciated that you didn't feel you needed to commit to her just because she made, the effort to come on a date. I think that was a very hard thing to do, to
You are
kind of
correct.
reject someone,
I can't stand having to do that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate your appreciation of all of this because it's very true. Very.
I'll tell you a secret about me, that I'm a teacher and I have to grade my students.
Oh, right.
And I always put it off because I hate giving grades. I hate saying you did better than this person or you did poorly. It's so hard
Of
for me.
course. Of
Yeah.
course. Oh, I know. I'm right with you.
But it also makes the show, as you said, very authentic because I thought you had a lot of courage in saying you didn't really want to go out with her again.
Thank you. That part is very real. Very real. And I don't enjoy that aspect of it. And what's really interesting is I've been rejected myself. Oh my gosh, numerous times. But when it comes to my having to turn a lady down, I can't stand that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that, for sure, I believe is being showcased on the Love on the Spectrum. I think it is.
I do too, because you were able to articulate your feelings. And I was so impressed by that. The complex feelings you had.
Yes. Oh, you do understand. Thank you very much. Yes. It's an interesting thing because a lot of people don't talk about that aspect of it, but it is a big deal.
Yeah.
really is.
Well, I think especially for you, some of the younger people, they don't understand as much, that, oh, somebody else will come along. But I think as an older member of the cast, it's very tempting to go, oh, there's someone who likes me. I'm going to grab onto them.
Ah,
Mm,
right. What a
yeah,
great point you have.
yeah. And to
Yes.
stay authentic about, no, that's not really what I'm looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really need to stick with this authenticity, no matter what I'm going through with any of these women.
Hmm.
I know what you mean. And sometimes we can feel a certain chemistry with somebody. And it's a wonderful feeling.
There's a wonderful word in Spanish. It's simpatico.
Oh, I think I've heard that word.
Yeah. And that means you have that kind of empathy and sympathy. And I think it's beyond just kind of a physical attraction. It's more of a understanding. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. There we
So
are.
I want to thank you and Elaine for your time today. And if there's anything else that you want to tell me, I'm very happy to hear it. But I also am very sensitive about not taking up too much time in your
Oh,
schedule.
well, it's a funny thing. I think you and I can go on forever.
I think we could, Steve, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.